What's up guys, Doomwake here, welcome to another modern video on the channel. Today we're going to be asking a question to all of you fine folks out there. Have I gone too far? So this is the Rhino package. As you can see, we've added a little bit of spaghetti to it. So this is another Rhino video. I feel like I've definitely been doing a lot of Rhino videos on the channel, but each one of these, you know, it's we're trying something different every time, and this feels like some innovation. And I think there is a lot of room to grow within the Cascade shell. I think it's the Cascade mechanic. You know, ever since Shardless Agent got printed into Modern, people have played Living End and Glimpse of Tomorrow and Crashing Footfalls, and there's been a decent diversity with what Cascade decks are being played. But I think the people haven't necessarily covered everything within each Cascade deck, and I think there's a lot to be explored there. And this is an idea that came from somebody in my Twitch chat, as most great ideas do come from. And the concept is fairly straightforward. We're playing the Rhino package, so we have Shardless Agent, Violent Outburst, Crashing Footfalls. So a lot of the normal suspects you would see: Fire Ice, Dead Gone, Fury, Brazen Borrower. We've decided to include a couple of Bone Crusher Giants instead of Brazen Borrowers, and the reason for that is our red count is a little lower. We're playing one less Fury for that reason, and also notably you cannot pitch Eldrazi Obligator to Fury because it is a colorless card. So because our red count's a little bit lower, I wanted to split Bone Crusher Giant and Brazen Borrower, so that's kind of why we're doing that. And then we have the Eldrazi's, along with, you know, supporting it, the manabase, Eldrazi Temple. It's kind of cool that Gemstone Caverns is a lot better in this version than it is in previous Rhino versions, because a lot of times when you're on the play with Gemstone Caverns, you can't do anything with the colorless mana, but now we have some good uses for the colorless mana off of that, to the point where I've considered including a third copy in this deck as well. And Grove of the Burn Willows is awesome. There's a lot of Death Shadow going around, and Death Shadow rewards you for managing your own life total in the sense of, you know, fetch, shocking, and thought seizing. And if you have one or two Grove of the Burn Willows in play, you can make it so that your opponent can basically never play Death Shadow, which is pretty sweet. You can definitely do some cool stuff there. And then, you know, the rest of the mana base, there's a couple Shivan Reefs, which is essentially a tri-land in this deck, because, you know, this is a Temur deck with colorless cards, with cards that require colorless mana, so it is in essence a four-color deck. So this is kind of like your tri-land, as you were. You have Maya Coast and Shivan Reef. But that's, you know, that's the... And the idea behind adding the Reality Smasher and Thought-Knot Seer is almost every deck in the format is well equipped to beat Cascade at this point, especially Crashing Footfalls, because you suffer hate against Chalice, Engineered Explosives, Ratchet Bomb, Teferi Time Reveler stops your cascading. There's a bunch of stuff and sideboard cards that people are playing to stop specifically Cascade. And when people load up on Cascade sideboard hate, which, you know, admittedly there might be a little less of that right now in the format because of how Cascade has kind of taken, you know, it's really dipped in terms of metagame share over the past couple of weeks. But the really nice thing is that when your opponent has all these sideboard cards, you can kind of just juke them and play, you know, essentially, if you have a Temple, you can play a 3-mana 4/4 or a 4-mana 5/5. If you have double Temple, then things get really out of control. You can just go turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer or maybe turn 3 Reality Smasher, and you just don't care about those sideboard cards. So that's the idea behind it. Eldrazi Obligator, I think, is one of the weakest cards in the deck, but it is, this deck is a lot more aggressive because you're not playing as many defensive elements. You're playing one less Fury. You're noticeably not playing Force of Negation because I don't think we would have enough blue cards. So there's no Force of Negations and there's less Fury. So you really need to kind of make sure you can close the door, and that's what the Smasher and Thought-Knot Seer are doing here. Also, Thought-Knot Seer is pretty good against, like, specifically combo decks. You can kind of maybe play it early, take their combo piece. You can maybe take their Teferi if you're on the play and have a Temple, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, Obligator is kind of just a product of I wanted something else to do with Eldrazi Temple, but I didn't know, like, I wanted something that I could cast on turn 2, just like a slightly more aggressive creature. I've been considering trying Eldrazi Sky Spawner. Potentially Matter Ray Shaper could be in there as well. Those are some things to think about. But yeah, that's the kind of the concept and the genesis behind the deck. Sideboard, we got some Disputes, some Forces, some Endurances, the 4th Fury, because you do want that in some matchups, and then rounding out the sideboard with 2 Prismari Commands, because you have less Brazen Borrowers, so you can, you know, there are some matchups where you want to bring in Prismari Command to blow up Chalice. Even though you have the Eldrazi package, you still want access to be able to blow up Chalice, because there are going to be, especially post-board games, maybe your opponent has a lot of removal or discard, like against Shadow, where they have an engineered explosives, which can cover, one or two of your Rhinos, especially if they have Aluris going, but they have a lot of removal for your Eldrazi, so might not be the best in those matchups, so you still want access to be able to kill the explosives and Chalice the Void. So that is the deck list. So I'm going to. This is a video that we did on the stream. It's a video of a VOD we did on the stream. I can't speak today, and it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. So I think y'all are gonna like this one. So without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Gigantha the Wellspring. Well, we're on the draw, and I have Gemstone Cavern Shardless, so I'm in. Probably just going to pitch Violent Outbursts. One of my best friends I started playing with quit yesterday because Modern is not fun for him anymore. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I just really haven't been feeling it the past couple of days, Past couple of weeks, really. I don't think the format is, bad or unhealthy. It's just kind of stale, I think the decks that are good in Modern have some interesting play patterns, but it's just, I don't know. I'm just not enjoying myself. Wait. Blue, green, this. Why do we not pitch a Shardless? Because they showed us Gigantha. I mean, I guess still keeping Outburst is maybe better if they have a sweeper, right? Because I can go attack for 10 and step Outburst. Yeah, it's possible I'm supposed to keep 1 and 1, because the second Shardless is, kind of irrelevant if they have a sweeper. Because they revealed Gigantha, so I knew they were playing Tron, but... You only get to play 8 rounds of Modern a week? Yeah, that's fair. It's different if you play a lot less, for sure. Pioneer Streamer. I got my cards for my Pioneer deck in the mail today, Eli. Alright, I'm just going to pass. I got all my Pioneer stuff in the mail today. What do you think I built? I don't know if I told you yesterday. What do you think I built? Yeah, I guess I got punished for not playing the Shardless, huh? Because I can only put them to 1. Okay. Okay, well, let's hope I draw... I mean, I have a lot of cards that just kill them straight up, so... That is not one of them. I'm gonna Thought Knot Seer them first. See what they got. They have an Ulamog, a Card Liberated, and a Warping Whale. Well, the Card Liberated does not do it. So now I'm just going to kill Karn and attack for 6. That should be good enough. I mean, I guess they could Karn the Thought Knot Seer into something. I don't know what that something could be, but... Obviously, I built food. I'll show you one card. It's not really a well... If I show, what's the card that I could show you that's not a dead giveaway? I mean, it's not really a single card that I can show you that's not a dead giveaway. I could show you my sideboard Luris. That's not a dead giveaway, I guess. But literally every other card is a dead giveaway. Light them up, chat. Light them up. Light them up. Is Pioneer even any good these days? I mean, might be better than Modern at this point. I don't know. Is it Mono Red Enchantress? No, it's not Mono Red Enchantress. Well, I showed you the other cards, so. All right, Dispute, no. Fury, Force, yes. Command, I think so. Not a fan of Fury. This is a good matchup for Thought Knot Seer. Dead Gone sucks. And I think Bone Crusher is kind of medium. Let's do that. I should have double red enchantment. That's fair. Well, Fire Ice never got the chance to cast it. Dude, Fire Ice is cracked. Fire Ice is like almost... It's like kind of just Time Walk. Fire Ice is so sick. Sand's kind of medium. It's like pretty good if I find a Cascade spell because I have the Caverns, but... The rest of this hand is not very good. I think with London Mulligan I can afford to ship this. Okay, this is better. Yeah, kind of. If I find a Temple, it's really good, but... Almost time... You gotta love the Time Walk Draw card memes. Whenever somebody says Time Walk Draw card, you love to see it. Imagine Fire Ice without Fuse? Jeez. Yeah, that'd be gross. Or you mean Fire Ice with Fuse? Yeah, Fire Ice with Fuse, I should say. Bottom build to 3. It's Tron for you, huh? I've experimented with so many different things in Rhinos at this point. I think I've tried almost everything that you can. I tried Repudiate Replicate the other day, Duncan. That shit was dope. It's just 2 mana stifle your land. When you're on the play and you get to stifle their fetch land for 2 mana, it's just like... It's cheats. Actual cheats. So sick. Rockerick Rhinos. The problem with Rockerick is, like, you have to play a bunch of cheap spells, right? Like, you can't really play Manamorphose, I think. Get Breeding Pool. Okay, not bad. What's up, Dennis? Like, you get to trigger it off of Shardless and Violent Outburst. You don't get to trigger it off of Fire Ice. Because Fire Ice is... When you're playing with Fire Ice, when it's on the stack, it's a single-colored card. So it doesn't trigger off Fire Ice. It only triggers off the Cascade spells, which is like... I don't know, maybe it's okay, but... Map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Alright, I really need to find a land for next turn so I can play the Thought-Knot Seer. Really need to find a land next turn. Why do we ignore the warning signs? How did the Squirrel Food deck go? Not very good. I think I played like 6 or 7 leagues last night, and my record was not very good. It was a disaster. I think I'm going to put that one on the back burner for a little bit. I feel like if you're trying to play an Asmo deck, I think you have to be Asmo Reanimator. Like, you have to be doing something really powerful, you know? You can't just go, like, the normal, dirtily fucking... You know what I mean? Like, dirtily black-green food stuff. I think you gotta be doing something really powerful if you're playing Asmo. Like, your backup plan has to be really powerful. Alright, I need a land. I need a land, please. Shit. Alright, well, am I comfortable jamming a Shardless Agent into a potential sweeper? I think it's the same thing as last time, just hold up Borrower. Although, I might be in the same position where if I hold up Borrower and they have Karn minus on a Rhino, I might not be able to kill them, but if they play Wormcoil, I can just bounce it and kill them, so... Yeah, it's a lot of work for a 3-3. I mean... Again, I think if you want to play Asmo, the card itself is very powerful in specific matchups, but you need to have a good backup plan for when Asmo is not your primary game plan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of matchups where you play Asmo, and your opponent is doing something that, like, either overpowers it or ignores the card entirely, like they're playing a combo deck, or they just don't care about the 6 damage. So it's like, you need to have a good backup plan for when Asmo is not good. You know what I mean? The 0-drop. You go by the top rate of the card terror, so it's a 0-drop. It's a 0-drop. If you Chalice on 0, it counters Asmo. If you Chalice on 1, it does not counter Asmo.
Yeah, like there's definitely matchups where you play Asmo and your opponent's just like, oh shit, you know. But it's getting to the point where those matchups are not there's not as many of those matchups anymore, and they got coding. I think they get coding. Oh, do they have a disenchant? Is that what this is? They must have like Nature's Claim or something, right? Do they not have a bridge? Or maybe why wouldn't they just get bridge? I don't get it. That's weird, right? They could have just gotten bridge or Wormcoil. I don't know what happened there. Maybe they misclicked. Okay. Unless they think that my Rhino can't attack when they're coding it? It's kind of weird. Talk to points so they've been like. Not sure what happened there. I mean, I had the out to Wormcoil, or I had everything covered anyway, so it didn't matter if they got a bridge or a Wormcoil, but they boarded in their bridge. I don't know why they would do that. Why would they board in their bridge? Makes no sense, right? Kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. How good is Amulet against 4-color? Against, like, a bunch of Spreading Seas and shit, and Solitudes? I feel like 4-color is, like, decently well positioned against Amulet. I'm not sure, though. What matchups am I most afraid of with this version of Rhinos? I mean, probably still Burn. Although I think Smasher and Thought-Knot Seer do go a long way in that matchup, because they're, like, cards you can cast under an Eidolon that, like, pressure them and don't deal you damage. But I think Burn's probably still pretty tough. Noble Hierarch. Well, I drew the best possible. I'm going to play this in case they have a Blood Moon. Just get a Forest. That was the best possible draw. What's going on over here? Oh, I see. Okay. Let's get... They don't have Blood Moon, right? So let's get Steam Vents. Definitely going to Fury those two. I think I'm going to pitch the Outburst. Because I want to keep the second Fury. Maybe that was dumb. Maybe I should have kept the Outburst. Although, because I have the Thought-Knot Seer, I can just curve... I can just curve Shardless into Thought-Knot Seer, or Shardless into Smasher if I find a land. I think this is fine. I've seen a lot of people playing the Slogurt deck. We know they have a land in their hand from the Slogurk. The head on my chest. Alright, Scalding Tarn. Yeah, you would need a lot of reps at that point for sure. I'm not going to cast Fury here. If I find a land, I can just slam the Smasher, maybe. Depending on what they do. Cool thing about Shardless Agent and Crashing Footfalls is it kind of sort of overpowers Life from or Seismic Assault. Like they have to trade 2 lands for a third of my card. So. Yeah, they changed the flip cards on that a while back. I think they changed the flip cards. I want to say. When did they change it? It was like 2 years ago, I think. I think there was like a certain printing that they changed it. Second Innistrad? Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, yeah, because they added flip cards in the... Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm just gonna jam Smasher, right? Just get an island. Dude, this deck is sweet. This deck is so sick, dude. It's so good. Did we break it, chat? Did we break it? Wrong answers only. What's up, engineer? Like this. It's felt really powerful. Well, this is only match number 2, but, you know. Slap Seismic Assault deck is broken. Yeah, you get it. Can't wait for Yorion Eldrazi Rhinos. Yeah, that's just the natural progression at this point. Alright, they can loan back 3 lands, so they have 3 activations of Seismic Assault, but they need 7? They literally need 7 lands in hand. I guess they can Bolt the Smasher, shoot it, and then have 4 more lands to not die. But then... yeah, if they literally have 4 lands in their hand, they're not dead. Which, yeah, they could have. Looks like they do. No. Yeah, because they can't. They're still dead. Right, because they have to also kill the Smasher. I don't know why I thought they needed 1 less land, but they needed 5 lands, which they couldn't do. Yorion Blink Thought-Knot Seer. Man, if Yorion could... oh, you know what we could do in the Yorion version is we could play Sky Spawner. Yorion Blink Sky Spawner. Alright, what am I boarding against? Seismic Assault. I mean, the last time I played against this deck, I didn't bring in Force of Vigor because there's not that many targets, but I think that their deck is, like, so reliant on Seismic Assault that I actually kind of think it's worth it. Because their deck just, like, almost doesn't function without Seismic Assault, so I think this is fine. And I think Barber's kind of shit. Cunning Dead Gun's kind of weird. I want the 4th Fury, too, against Mana Dorks. I'm going to trim an Obligator. They don't have that many creatures. Actually, if I keep the Dead Gons instead of the Obligators, that looks good. Obligator sucks because they don't have creatures, and it's a 3-1 that dies to 1 Seismic Assault activation, so... Can I recommend a stock Rhinos list? I'll show you my quote-unquote normal stock Rhinos list. This is where I'm at currently. This is what I wrote a sideboard guide on in the Discord. I'm not 100% on the main deck Endurance, but the main deck Endurance is kind of just like an extension of the sideboard, because I want 4 in the 75, but I don't know, I can't fit 4 because I want, 4 of each of these cards. So the main deck Endurance is maybe a little sketchy, but I love the main deck Blood Moons. I've been super happy with them. This is just super clean, super stock, with the exception of main deck Blood Moon. Sometimes some people play Bone Crusher, but I like main deck Moon. So, Frank Plottis, if you look at the results from the past weekend, Rhinos actually won the Super BTQ. So, I think that it's just that I think there aren't as many people playing it. I think it's still one of the best decks for sure. But I think that there aren't as many people playing it, but the downfall of not as many people playing it is that people are starting to cut their sideboard cards, which means I think it's actually quite a good time to play Rhinos. Alright, what am I getting rid of? I think I'm getting rid of... this is kind of tough. I kind of want to get rid of Fury, and if they play a Dork on turn 1, I'll Bone Crusher Giant it. If they just play a land, I'll Fire Ice it. Yeah. Because, like, if I pitch a red card and then Fury pitch this, I'm just on such low resources. I think I'd rather just keep my two spells. Yeah. I think it makes sense to do this. What's up, Isaac? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you have Caverns in your opening hand, it's really hard to utilize both the Caverns and a pitch spell, so you kind of have to, like, pick and choose there. I love that this deck, like, drawing Caverns past turn 1 isn't embarrassing because it's playing the 8 Eldrazi's. I love that about this. So I'm like, I almost want to jam a 3rd Caverns in this deck. Because, like, you really don't care about drawing it past, you know what I mean? You can actually utilize the colorless mana. Okay. Go. Awkward. They're not going to fetch, right? There's no way they're fetching. Kind of like I'm playing a 4-color deck, yeah. Ooh, they fetched. Got him. I'm going to fetch basics. I don't know if they have Blood Moon in their deck, but it seems kind of free, right? It seems kind of free to play around Blood Moon. Ooh, Cycling Forgotten Cave, huh? Cycling Forgotten Cave. I'm just gonna get an island. Always have the ice. Never doesn't have the ice. Ice in his veins, they say. Literal ice in his veins. Is this a hierarch of sorts? Perhaps. Okay. You have a hierarch of sorts. I'm going to ignore your hierarch, and I'm going to cast Shardless Agent. I'm not going to Fury just the hierarch, because if they play Slogurk, I can just kill both. I guess if they have Slogurk fetch land, I can't kill both, but then I could just go Fury, pitch this, kill the Slogurk, Bone Crusher Giant the hierarch, and then just clap them. Ran in 6. Alright. You degraded yourself down to playing Hammer Time? Oh no, Terror. We lost another one. We lost another one. Forgotten Cave. This song is such a banger. Force of Vigor. Okay, so I can go send this at them, this at them, this at Ren. I don't know how much I care about Ren, but they're at 10. I think I'm just going to go Stomp the Hierarch and Suspend a Footfalls. Just pass. Maybe suspending the Footfalls is bad because I have the Force for a Seismic Assault, but if they go like Land Seismic Assault, they have 3 cards in their hand, which means they can't even kill both Rhinos. Like, they could have explosives. It's like they're 1 out here, probably. That's probably not going to do it. That is probably not going to do it. Alright, haven't dropped the game yet, chat. Is this just going to be like the easiest 5-0 of all time? Hey, I won a game with Smasher, okay? I don't want to hear it. I won a game with Smasher. I don't want to hear it. Although, to be fair, if that Smasher was most other cards, I probably still would have won that game, but, you know. I cast a Smasher and I attacked for lethal. That's got to count for something, right? I do remember that Da Vinci, yeah. They fetched. They fetched. We got them. I love it when they fetch. I think I might main phase this Outburst, because I don't want them to have Counterspell. Yeah, I'm going to main phase the Outburst. This Spell Pierce, that sucks, but don't have Spell Pierce. The cool thing is if they tap out for Tef and bounce a Rhino, I get to go kill Tef, thought not to your verdict. So that's kind of cool. Jeskai Triumph decks don't play Spell Pierce. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the blue-white decks have it. Alright. Bounce that. Suspend. Alright, go to 13. Got some stuff. They have another one. Jace Bounce. Reality Smasher is good against Jace Bounce. They have 5 cards in their hand. Probably better to go Bone Crusher, Caverns, play Bone Crusher, right? Then I lose my 5th mana source for Smasher, though. I think it is still a little bit better. Because then if I draw a land, it's really good. I guess this is a lot worse if they have Force of Negation. Okay. It's the kind of innovation you save for Saturday. Fair. Look, I don't know. I don't think this deck's actually good. I think I'm getting some good matchups and getting very lucky. Prismatic Ending for 3? I'm in on that. Deal. Guess they still have Counterspell up. I thought about putting Cavern of Souls in this deck, but I thought it was kind of shaky on the mana. What's new in the end? What's up, Torborg? Still 4 cards in their hand. This is kind of tough. I need to find a land pretty badly. I'm sure they have Verdict in their hand, but... Might have been better to just hold up Borrower there. This might have been worse, because I could go Borrower into Rhinos. It's also a lot worse if they have Solitude, but... Alright. I mean, I guess the good news is if they Verdict now, then I get to cast this, which means I'll have these in play after they Verdict, which is pretty good. And if they want to hold on the Verdict, they have to go to 1, which is kind of sketchy, right? Because then they go to 1 and I just get to hold up this, so... Tuck that. So they're probably going to counter this, right? Imagine they counter this. Yeah, okay. They have 2 cards left. Oh. That's pretty good. We'll take that. Definitely casting that than prefer to holding a Borrower. It does mean that I don't get to draw the Reality Smasher that got tucked, which is kind of annoying, but... Yeah, Smasher would have been game over. What's up, Gaz? Am I after your heart or what? Killager, Killager, Killager. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Okay. Bounce a Rhino. Prismatic Ending, maybe? Chalice on 0, sure. Still need something else. Oh, they could just hardcast Solitude now. Okay. Well, that stinks. Now we're probably fucked. I don't think I can... I can't afford to attack their Planeswalkers. Plus, if they have Solitude, they're just going to kill this and trade, even if I send it to the Planeswalker, so... Yeah. Now we're dead. You got a haircut? Nice. We are super dead. Your turn. Yeah, the Teferi Police. The Teferi Police. I don't know how many more draw steps I'm going to take. Hopefully draw a Smasher. Alright, I will attempt to attack Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. If they cast anything, I'm just going to scoop. Okay. Alright. We're still playing. Any good tech for blue-white? I mean, you could play Thrun, you could play Chandra, Awakened Inferno. I've tried both of those cards. I think they're both fine, but... The thing is, like, the non-traditional, like the non-stock Rhino list that I've been playing have been splashing white, so I've been playing Yorion Rhinos with, like, more threats, Saheeli, Teferi, companions and stuff like that. So I think those versions don't necessarily need something against blue-white control, because I think they already have a fine matchup against blue-white, but... Like, these traditional teamer versions do have a much worse matchup against blue-white. Does play out pretty different if we go Smasher instead of Bone Crusher on that turn? Potentially. It could potentially play out different. Oops. Fury bad, Dead Gone bad. Endurance good. I think Obligator's bad. This all looks pretty good, right? Yeah, I'm not going to bring in Force of Vigor for just Chalice. I could bring in Prismari Command, but... Maybe Thought-Knot Seer is bad against Solitude, but I can't imagine cutting Thought-Knot Seer, right? In a matchup like this? Yeah, I think I maybe missequenced a little bit there. It's possible if I play the other card, maybe it works out better. Sounds good. It's not great against Chalice, but got the wrong land, huh? Should have got Breeding Pool. Forgot about Endurance. I'm gonna shock this to see if they make them play around Fire Ice. Right. Debated. I think I might not cast. Yeah, God, man, if I had Breeding Pool, this would have been so much better. This one, go. Just gonna hold up Outburst. I might not EOT the Outburst. But yeah, if I had gotten a Breeding Pool, I would have just cast Endurance this turn, and it would have been a lot better for me. So that's unfortunate. Because I could have gone Endurance into Violent Outburst plus Dispute. And I kind of just don't want to cast any spells here. Because I can just go Outburst Dispute next turn. I'm just going to wait. Look at this. Go. I don't want to play the Growth because I know for a fact I'm going to cast the Outburst this turn. And then next turn I can play the Growth, hold up Shardless. Or, Endurance. Ragavan Obliterator, Bolt TGS. There was a that Model Red Eldrazi deck was being played for a little bit for like a couple, I think it was like a month ago. Some people were having some decent success with it. It could be good. Deck's powerful. It's got some good stuff going on. They're not fighting over it? Okay. Sure. Deal. Untap. We're gonna steal one? Counter it. Counter it. Counter it. Play this. Attack for 8. Hold up Endurance. Probably Endurance myself. Really pushing the football shell, aren't we? Yeah. Blue-red Eldrazi playing Fire Ice. Blue-red Eldrazi. What would make you... Oh, you just want to be like the Model Red Eldrazi deck Splash Fire Ice. You could play Drowner of Hope. I feel like if you're playing a dedicated Eldrazi deck, you need some sort of mana acceleration. So, I don't know. So blue-red's kind of weird. I mean, I guess you could play Sky Spawner, but... Ooh. Okay, attack for 3. I think I'm going to cast Shardless and pass. Because I can go blue, green, colorless, and still hold up Outburst. Can't hold up Endurance, but I can hold up Outburst. Yeah, I'm missing triple green. But, I mean, Shardless hold up Outburst is still fine, right? Because even if they Wrath this board, then I can just cast Outburst, and it's still lethal. So they need to have, like, Wrath plus Solitude, and then I still have the Endurance left over, so we're in a fine spot. 4 Ragavan, Bolt, Obligator, 2KS, Smasher, Fury, and Failure. Yeah, exactly, Kilogerm. I would look at, there's been a couple lists, again, if you look at, like, lists over the past couple of weeks. Am I casting this? Yeah, I think I should, right? I mean, oh, am I just gonna get Cryptics? These decks don't play Cryptic anymore, do they? I mean, I fucking hope they don't. I've not seen Cryptic in a blue-white list in a long time. Okay. See if I can find a list. Hold on. MTG Goldfish. I'm sure you could find one from like the past month or so. Modern. Raminap Ruins. Search. Tournament. Format. Modern. Search. I had to go back a couple of months. Let's go here. Apply search. So yeah, there was. I think, is this the one that won the challenge? No, it's 25th place. I think this is pretty similar to what won the challenge, though. So it's like, just like you were saying, Killager, Ragavan, Bone Crusher, Obligator, Pyromancer, which is dope, Thought Knot, Fury, Smasher, and then Smashing, which is a land that also pitches to Fury, so that's good. Dismember, like a deck just built itself, you know. It's just basically all 4 ofs. Like you were saying. Gonna play Eldrazi on back-to-back streams, yeah. Okay, I'm on the draw. I think I'm going to pitch a Thought-Knot Seer, because I don't actually have colorless mana right now. Chalice on 0. It's rude. Rude. Found my colorless mana. Give me a temple. Give me a temple. I don't actually have that many outs to Chalice. I only have 2 borrowers. Maybe this particular configuration does not have enough Chalice outs. I could see that. Well, I mean, I also maybe should just be bringing in Prismark Command in this matchup, right? I probably should have brought in Prismark Command. I mean, kind of KP, but like their deck is pretty good at answering Eldrazi's, right? They have counter spells, they have solitudes, they have verdicts. So, like, if your only answer to that is just Eldrazi, I think they can pretty easily beat that. It's the combination of both that they have a harder time dealing with, which is why I think you probably need to be bringing Prismark Command in a matchup like this. Ancient Grudge? Well, you can't play Grudge, right? I mean, it's not a land, but it's probably my next best draw, to be honest with you. Yeah, for Cascade. Remana, Shark Typhoon? Sure. Fine with that. I don't know if I'm going to cast the other Endurance. I guess I probably am, right? Yeah, I'll probably cast the other Endurance. Alright, I'll cast it in response. No reason to shuffle their Shark Typhoon back in. I'll just target nothing. Still have not found a land, unfortunately. So I'm going to attack Teferi. The question is, am I playing the other Endurance? I think so. If I played the other Endurance and they have a land for Verdict, that kind of sucks, but I can hopefully follow it up. Like, I need to get this Teferi off the table. And I can hopefully follow it up with Eldrazi if I start drawing lands. So, I think I just kind of have to make this play and hope they don't find a land for Verdict. Good chance they have Verdict in their hand, but... yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I know. They've been missing land drops, but like they obviously have the verdict in their hand. Land? Ah. Just gonna play around a Shark Typhoon. I know I'm just gonna get Vertikin anyways, but. Oh, they're just letting Teferi die? I'm actually just gonna pass here. I know I could suspend Footfalls, but they have the Chalice anyways, and I'd rather just represent a third Endurance. Might be stupid, but they at least have to respect an Endurance here. So Aether Gust. I kind of think I should bottom that because I really just need to find lands for these Eldrazi's. So. That's of your hands. It's a fairy. Alright, tilt. Don't have the endurance. Unfortunate. Okay. I mean, you know, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Which one I discard? Why would they do that now? Just like untap and wait to see if you draw land, right? I don't really understand the point of doing that there. At least, like, if you're gonna do it, you can just untap first, and you have Teferi in play. It's not like I can respond. Okay, I've seen enough. Stand's not bad. We can go turn 1 suspend, turn 2 fire ice. I'll keep it. Obviously need a third land, but we're on the draw, and we're cycling a fire ice, so pretty likely to hit. Keep. Polluted Delta. Grief. Was that card not banned yet? How is that card not banned yet? They have Ephemerate. I would assume they take the Crashing Footfalls and the Fire Ice, and then on the next upkeep... Well, no, they probably just take Footfalls, Shardless, Outburst, right, with those three. Yeah, because they get 3 triggers if they have Ephemerate. So they probably want to take my turn 1 play. I can't... Yeah, they're definitely supposed to take the Footfalls here. Because that's one of the ways I get around Grief, is just suspending Footfalls early. Excuse me, and then I can take a couple hits from Grief and then get the Footfalls online, so... They definitely should take the Footfalls here. Be happy if they don't. RG Sideways, thank you for the 500 bits. That's very, very generous of you. Appreciate that. I'm gonna move this, make it a little smaller. But thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate your Sideways. It's good, right? Yeah, I'll put it there. Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Appreciate that. Hope y'all are having a good day today, chat. Be sure to follow the stream if you are new here. Brief Bug, your turn. It's the one time that I actually am totally fine with drawing Crashing Footfalls. And I think it was arguably the best draw in my deck at that point. Cast your stones, cast your judgment. I guess the best draw in my deck would probably be Dead Gone, because then I could kill the Grief, but it's probably the next best draw. Yeah, like now I can just kill the Grief. Master plan. When should I kill the Grief, though? I could also just not ever try to kill the Grief. I could do it upkeep. No, I already passed upkeep. I should have iced them upkeep, maybe. Well, the problem with icing them upkeep is if I ice upkeep and they respond and blink the Grief, then they take this and I still can't kill the Grief. Right? Like, maybe I'm just okay with them blinking this. I might just stomp it. I think I'm just gonna stomp it. TBH. If I was gonna stomp it, I maybe should have stomped upkeep, but... Surely a third land into 4 more Cascaders would have been better. Well, yeah, sure. That's fair. We got a Griefer. Alright. Now they cast Unmarked Grave. Is that what's happening? No Unmarked Grave. Oh, they have Faithful Mending. Okay, your turn. They cast Mending, I'll just tap a land upkeep. Oh, I hadn't thought about Eldrazi Obligator versus Archon of Cruelty. I hope that happens this game. I really hope that happens. I bet nobody had that on their bingo card. Eldrazi Obligator stealing Archon of Cruelty. That's gonna be hot. Okay. Now I don't want to draw Footfalls, please. Now it's my worst draw. I only have one left, too. So they don't have Mending. They don't have Unmarked Grave. I don't know what the hell's in their hand. Like, what could possibly be in their hand? Just a bunch of, like, prismatic endings? Their hand's probably, like, prismatic... I guess, Solitudes. So, like, Ending, Solitude, Grief could definitely be cards in their hand. Or, not Grief. Ending, Solitude, Persist, excuse me. Yeah, Reanimates. Ending, Solitude, Persist. Those kinds of cards. What's this? Unmarked Grave. Okay. Well, this is lethal, unless they have Solitude. They probably do have Solitude. Yeah, they also don't have lands. So, they almost certainly do have the Persist in their hand, but... Alright, let's guess this. Show me that Solitude. So even if they Solitude, they go to 4. No, they go to 1, actually, because I'm just going to cast the Obligator. I think. Maybe I'll cast the Bone Crusher. We'll see what we draw. I'm going to do some math here. Okay, so if I cast Obligator... Cast Obligator, they Solitude a Rhino, go to... They take 15 and go to 1. They put Archon into play. I sack Obligator and still have 3 Rhinos. And then they're at 4. So I have 3 Rhinos attacking and they're at 4. If I cast Bone Crusher Giant, they Solitude a Rhino, take 12. Go to 4. Put Archon into play. I sack Bone Crusher Giant. They go to 7 and I have 3 Rhinos. And that's better if I draw a land, because I can play the land and keep one of these 2 in my hand. But I think that's just worse than doing this. Yeah, I think that's worse than doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard the Grove, and then keep the Smasher in case I draw Temple. I think this ends up being better. It's pretty close. Well, I understand that, but I don't need to Obligator the Archon. Like, if I just cast the Obligator this turn, I think it gives them less outs. Because then they're at 4, and I have 3 Rhinos attacking them, and they have 1 blocker, right? Because this puts them to 1 this turn. Right. Also, imagine if I play the Bone Crusher and keep the Obligator and don't draw a land. Then it's even worse, right? I guess it's the same because then I could just cast the 3/1 haste, which still puts lethal in play. They block a Rhino and take 7. So it kind of ends up being the same. I guess this is better if they have double Solitude. Although I'm probably not beating double Solitude anyways, right? I'm probably screwed if they have double Solitude. Okay. You beat double Solitude by keeping Obliterator, or the Obligator. I don't know if that's true. So they take 11, go to 5. And then I sack this, they go to 8. I mean, they're still dead at Temple. Or Borrower. Or Fire Ice. Still have a lot of outs. They just didn't have it? Okay, I'm confused. I don't know what the hell was in their hand then. I would have like bet all of the money in the world that they had a persist there. I don't know what was in their hand. I mean, they had double Solitude, but... Okay, so Endurance coming in. Fury is really bad. I like Borrower. Bone Crusher Giant's kind of bad. Dead Gone is not great. They don't have a ton of blue cards for Dispute, so... I think I'm just going to have, like, a Prismari Command, just as, like, the least bad card in my sideboard. We'll just do this. What's up, bot? Like, yeah, it's been good. It's been good. But it took a loss to blue-white. We got very unlucky in game 3. I kept a 3-lander with, like, Thought Nazi or Double Smasher. Never drew a 4th land. And they had Chalice to Fairy, so my Cascades were shut off. It's kind of a tough game. Matchup doesn't seem that bad, though. The meme continues. Don't let your memes become dreams. Affinity Rhinos. Brian, are you happy or sad? Brian, what are your thoughts on this deck? Are you in or are you out? I hope you're in. Yes, we're playing Eldrazi Temple. Why would we not play Eldrazi Temple when we're playing with Eldrazi? This is just a fancy Eldrazi Temple. This is a fancy Eldrazi Tron deck. It's Eldrazi Tron with extra steps. No Matter Shapers, though. Thank God. We have to, like, see, the thing about playing Matter Reshaper is you have to give your opponent a chance, you know? Like, if you put Matter Reshaper in your deck, obviously your opponents can never win. So the reason we're not playing Matter Reshaper is because our deck would be too good if we had it. So. This hand's cracked. We have to give them a chance, you know? How do I submit a donor deck, and how many bits does it cost? Okay, so I'll give you a thing here. For donation decks, I'm actually going to put a pause on them because we're full for the next 3 weeks. So as of right now, we are putting a pause on donation deck submissions because we're just so far out. I have to get through the ones that we have. But normally it would be $20 or 2,000 bits. Yeah, we're out pretty far on donation decks. So I'm gonna put a pause on them for now. We need to skip the line price. No, I'm not gonna do that. I will not get into that kind of stuff. It's like holding on. My grip is lost. Dono Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, depending on what happens, I might have to do an additional day for donation decks. I have to talk with some people and see if they're okay with doing it on a different day, but yeah. Might do like a Sunday. Maybe we'll do like a donation deck Sunday at some point, because like Sunday is usually a day where a lot of people are just kind of chilling and don't have much to do, and I usually take Sundays off, but you know. No, we're not doing them on Christmas morning. Tudor's is playing Asmo? What kind of Asmo deck? Is he playing the black green list? I gotta look now. He's playing Asmo Reanimator? I gotta see his deck list. Where he doesn't have Stream Decker enabled? Well, I see that there's Reanimator stuff, so. Damn. So they went Mending, discard Archon. I would like to cast Shardless Agent. Sucks that I drew 2 footfalls, but... They have a counterspell? I hope they don't. I could write deck. Eli's Asmo. 3 Asmo, 1 Goose, Hierarch, Squirrel, Manufactor, Daredevil, Archon. Oh, so it's like black green food, but with the Reanimator package? That's kind of cool. I like that. That's not bad, right? That looks kind of dope. I'm going to save this one. I have to give that a spin at some point. We're going to bookmark that one. Blue-red Eldrazi with Yorion? Jeez. Dude, can you imagine Yorion, Blink, Drowner of Hope, Sky Spawner? I love the 3 Serum Powders, too. That's dope. That's a nice touch. That is a nice touch. Alright, it's your turn. Now what? Now what? I should get the Jam Thought-Knots here next turn. That's so dope. Unless they have Grief. If they grief me, I'll probably cast the Endurance. Corey, you want some fat clouds? I gotcha. Free trophy, he says. The freest trophy of my life. How free is the trophy, though? That's the real question. How free is the trophy? Alright, I'm going to cast the Endurance, because if I don't cast it, I'm probably dead. I know they're just going to take the Thought-Knots here now, but whatever. Is Ragavan a big issue for Temur Rhinos? Not really, because you have Fury, Dead Gun, and Fire Ice. So, I don't think it's too big of an issue. Also, the thing about Ragavan is a lot of the cards that you're hitting are just, like, not really the best, because you have so many 3-mana cards in your deck, right? So it's like, you're hitting cards like, you know, Fire Ice and Force of Negation. There are some good ones that the Ragavan decks can hit, but for the most part, you don't have a ton of good hits. You know what I mean? And Prismatic Ending? Sure. That clock difference, though. They have double Prismatic Ending? Alright, well, they have no cards in hand. They have no graveyard, so... I guess I'll cast that. See if they want to trade. They'll probably trade. I don't really care if they don't. Done. You hate Grief and Reanimator so much. I mean, it's good if you're playing Ephemerate. Oh, that's the other reason to play the Thought-Knots here, is they have this. So yeah, I definitely should have played the Thought-Knots here. Did forget about the Ephemerate, but... Alright, our opponent has 1 card. They're playing off the top. Are we racing? I don't think we're racing. I feel like I haven't taken that many game actions. Alright, no blocks. I'm not allowed to block. Smasher. Something about the bean? Something about the bean, chat. I don't know. Something bean. Your guess is as good as mine. Nothing really good to pitch. I mean, it's like if you're going, it allows you to like have these really fast reanimation draws and kind of take your opponent's action. But like unless you have the grief prior to casting your like unmarked grave or faithful mending against endurance and those kind of graveyard hate, it like doesn't really do that much. As you saw this game, you know, like my opponent cast mending and then had grief, and then I was like, okay, well I'll just endurance you, and then they had nothing left anyways, so it's didn't really do that much. Alright, not exactly the card I wanted to steal for the win, but, you know, we take those, I guess. Easy. Easy, chat. Easiest game of my life. Easiest game of my life. I'm not going to click through my attack step, opponent. I know you think I'm going to, but I'm not going to. It's just that good. It's got potential, I think. It's got a good backup plan. Alright, that is not going to do it. That is indeed not going to do it. Oh, if they hit exactly Ephemerate off of the Thought-Knot Seer trigger, it's actually pretty good for them, right? It has to be literally Ephemerate, because they can stack the triggers right. Oh, well, they fucked up. No, they didn't fuck up. So yeah, they target this, draw Ephemerate, blink, kill the Thought-Knot Seer, trade here, go to 10, take 5, go to 5, get this back. I'm actually in pretty bad shape if they find exactly Ephemerate. Why do you think Esper Control went away? Panic, push. I mean, it's just like, why would you play black when you could just play blue? Or just blue-white, you know? Like, what is the necessity for the third color? Luris, and we're on the draw with a Caverns. Alright, I'll keep. I'm gonna pitch, I think, a land. Because I don't need more than 3 lands, and I'd rather keep the Footfalls. If they're a fair Luris deck, I actually like suspending Footfalls on 1. Just get rid of the basic. We could even cast turn 1 Dead Gun if we want to. I think if they play a Sentinel, I'm not going to cast Dead Gun because I don't want to give them a card, but... Alright, sure. Probably just take this, right? I think. Yeah. It's our best draw. Not that. Okay, I'm going to suspend a Footfalls and play a Grove because I want to hold up Dead Gone. I don't want to play this tapped. And I definitely want to suspend this on 1, for sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to kill that yet. Don't want to give them a card. Just kill it this turn. Right, your turn. I'll just kill it now. Oh. They definitely should have attacked first. Because now I'm going to kill that. They definitely should have attacked. If they had attacked first, I might have killed the Sentinel. Yeah, they definitely should have attacked first. Unless they're, like, baiting me to casting the Dead Gone. Maybe. Cascade spell? Nope. No Cascade spell. Feels bad, man. If they want to needle my foothills, I'm totally fine with that. I have enough lands. They sometimes don't even have needle main deck, but if they want to needle this, I just don't care. I'd rather have them get that than a hammer. Assume they just get a hammer, right? Got a drum. Second Saga's kind of rough. Really need to find a Cascade spell. Really need to find a Cascade spell. Okay. Cascade spell, please. I hope we get to Obligator a creature that has a hammer on it in this matchup. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would love for it to happen. Alright, spell please. Preferably Cascade, the Cascade variety. I mean, I guess we have this, but... am I attacking? So they have a hammer in their hand. We don't know their last card. I mean, I'm gonna... like, even if they have Sigarda's Aid, what am I gonna do? Chump block with my Smasher? Like, that's just not a winning strategy. I don't think that's a winning strategy. I'm not really in the market for chump blocking with Reality Smasher. I believe we are dead if they have Sigarda's 8, though, right? So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 plus the Saga. If they have enough mana. 1, 2... If they have a land, then we would die. Okay. This, this could work out pretty well if they... So they can attack us for 16, put us to 1, and if they equip the Paladin and I draw Obligator, they die. Oh. They're playing around the Obligator. Wow. Wow. They're playing around the Obligator. GG Stack Faden. Playing around the Obligator. Man. 5-head. Tragic. I didn't draw it anyways. So this gets Shadow Spear and I die. I mean, I'm not dead, but I can't really beat that, so. Carry on. 3 mana search for an instant or sorcery anyone knows to search Violent Outburst. There's a card from the new set. Oh, what is it called? Chat, anybody know what that card's called? It's from one of the newer sets. Search. It's blue. What is it called? Solve the Equation. Now that's what it is. Solve the Equation. Yeah, 3 mana, search library for an instant or sorcery card, reveal it, put it in your hand. Solve the Equation. That's the card you're thinking of. Alright, splitting its hammer time. I want these forces. I want these commands, and I want this fury. Yeah, Solve the Equation is the card that I'm thinking of. It's just like not a Smasher matchup. I think it might not be. Because all my other cards are pretty sicko. I still have to cut 3 cards. Is this also not a Thought-Knot Seer matchup? Like, maybe the Eldrazi is just bad in this matchup, right? Because, like, you don't want to cut any of these cards, right? Obligator's good. Dead Gone's good. Fire Ice is good. Yeah, like, I just don't want to cut any of these cards. I guess I could cut a land on the play and have a second Smasher, or maybe 2 Thought-Knot Seers. That's fine. Cut a Temple? Oh, well, I mean, the second Caverns is bad on the play, right? Yeah, but the second Caverns also is bad. And I still have the Obligators and 2 Thought-Knot Seers. Follow me, follow me. Okay. This hand needs a Cascade spell, but I'm going to keep it because I have Force and Borrower. Shackles on my face. Probably get a breeding pool with this, so I can maybe hardcast Force. I'm not going to suspend on one. Just going to hope to draw a Cascade spell. Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize would suck. Okay. No Thoughtseize. I'm not going to cast the Force yet. I might cast it next turn, though. We'll see. Oh. Well, they played a 1-2. Alright, I'm going to... I think I'm going to do nothing. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. I'm going to wait till they act. You always want to be as reactive as possible in this matchup. Okay. That is definitely something to react to. Now I think I'm going to kill the Sentinel in the Saga. And just pay. Because I am going to kill the Saga at some point. No, I hate that. I don't know why. So for sometimes when you cast a spell into a Sentinel, sometimes it prompts you to hit OK, and sometimes it doesn't. And it annoys me every time because I'm just instinctively clicking OK there, and it's super annoying. You know what I mean? All right, drew a Cascade spell anyways, so we're fine. But it's super annoying. I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but it's I don't know why sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It makes no sense. Because I'm just always used to hitting OK there, you know? I don't know if it's going to matter, but... Dude, I love it when my Hammer opponents bring in Prismatic Ending against me. It's just it's not the fight that you want to... It's not the axis you want to fight on. You know what I mean? You're never winning those games. Personally, I don't think. That's just my experience from this side of the matchup. I don't know, maybe it's different from the Hammer Time side, but from my side of the matchup, every time my opponent casts this card, I just pump the fist. Why is he hovering over the no? Yeah, really? Sometimes it asks you to hit OK, and sometimes it doesn't, so. Only triggers once each turn? Maybe. Oh, I want this Caverns in the draw. Whoops. Could have thought not Seer. Thought not Seer was pretty bad on the draw. I guess I could shave a Temple and play a second Thought Not Seer. Yeah. Because, I don't have that many Eldrazi, so I don't mind shaving a Temple, but I want all of the Caverns on the draw for sure. We need to, map out the sideboard plans for matchups like this. And that's what happens when the deck is rough around the edges. You know, when you have a new deck like this, your sideboard, when you just build a sideboard and you haven't experienced the matchups a lot, your sideboard plans are going to be a little off. Ooh, the combo. The combo deck. This hand's not keepable, right? No. This hand is keepable. I think I'm going to ship Obligator. Nope, cancel. Wait, hold on. Oh, I forgot this is a 6. Shit, I forgot this. I thought this was a 7. So I have to put 2 cards back? Do I just bin the Fury and the Obligator and just keep both Cascade spells? Just keep 3 lands, 2 Cascade spells? Better if they have Thoughtseize, right? So, bottom this, Caverns, exile this, and then have 3 lands, 2 Violent Outbursts. Because the problem is, if I keep 3 lands, Cascade spell, Fury, and have to cast the Fury, I don't have a Cascade spell anymore, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to do it that way. I think this makes the most sense. This is really bad if they have Void Mirror, but... No matter what I do, I'm kind of screwed if they have Void Mirror. Like, I don't really have a ton of good plate against Void Mirror. Alright. Yeah. That plays. That definitely plays. That one plays, because now I can pitch the Outburst. Just gonna take one. See if they play something post-combat. Alright, I'm not gonna cast Force yet. I can get better targets. Okay. Kinda wish I had this on my opening hand to pitch, but there's no way they attack here, right? Pure Steel Paladin. Okay. They have one card in hand? Okay, I'm gonna let that go. I think this is still gonna be pretty good for me. I'm not gonna be able to get the Paladin, but I think I'm gonna be able to get everything else. Yeah, that's fine. It feels like a hurricane. Alright, so let's go Force these two, pitch and outbursts. This time I'm not going to pay. And then we cast Outburst, and we eat the thing. And then hopefully we draw another Cascade spell, or just a removal spell for Paladin would be fine. Just any removal spell's good. Ugh, that's super awkward, because I can't hold it up. Because I have the stupid Caverns. I mean, I can cast it next turn, but... If you cascade into a Bone Crusher Giant, you get to choose. No, you can't. You just you can't cascade into it because it's a 3-mana spell. Okay, this could be scary. Hopefully, they don't have another hammer. Okay, and they're at 12. All right, my turn. Okay, so how do we do this? So they have 4 cards in their hand. One is Luris. If I cast the Force of Vigor, just go float green mana, play the Caverns, cast the Force of Vigor, kill the Saga and the Shadow Spear. They need to have land. They could go land, Luris, hammer from the graveyard, and then they still need to have 2 more zeros to be able to equip the Paladin. But if I cast the Shardless Agent, they could go Luris, hammer, and then they need only a land and a 1-mana artifact or a 0-mana artifact. So I think I have to cast the Force, right? What if you did cast... Oh, if you Bloodbraid Elf into it, you get to choose. My bad. You get to choose. If you Bloodbraid into it, you get to choose, Duncan. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cast the Force this turn. I think it's better. I think it's better to cast the Force. It would have been a lot better if I just had a different land, so I could just hold up the Force, but... Although, even if I could do that, I probably still want to main phase the Force to kill the Saga, right? To choke them on mana. So even if I had a regular land, it's probably still better for me to cast it there, like what I did. Just to kill the Saga main phase, so I don't get the mana. Three white. So they're going to go Luris Hammer.
They need 2 zeros, though. Are they dead as is? No, so they can double chump block, right? If they go hammer and miss, they have 4 toughness at 7 life with 8 power. So 8 minus 4... Well, actually... They could actually just chump with Lurrus, right? Because it's 8 minus 2 would be 6, and they go to 7. So they go to 1 if they just block with Lurrus. So they don't have to block with the Paladin. Unless I find a removal spell, then they're dead, but... Yeah, Violent Outburst would be lethal. Okay, they're going for the Shadow Spear. Interesting. Okay. I guess that's better if they know for a fact they have to chump block with the Lurrus. Do they actually have 2 zeros? Oh, man, if they have 2 zeros... Well, actually, even if they have 2 zeros, they don't have to hammer now, so it's not that bad. But now they have this to chump block. They still have to block with the Lurrus, though, right? Because if they block with these two, it's 8... Wait. Oh, yeah, they're not attacking with... Okay, yeah, because they just chump block with the Lurrus. Makes sense. Alright, so removal spell? It's a removal spell I can't cast. Well, my play is kind of scripted, so I will attack. I have nothing else I can do. So they go to 1. Feels kind of bad. Alright, play the Shardless. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. How the Eldrazi felt in the deck? They felt pretty good. They felt pretty decent. We've cast a couple Smashers, a couple Thought-Knot Seers, and, you know, it's a good juke. It's a good juke, and they've been pretty decent so far. Ornithopter Chump is weird. Yeah, because, like, they're playing around... Well, does the Ornithopter... No, the Ornithopter Chump beats Violent Outburst, right? Because if I have exactly Violent Outburst and they block with the Ornithopter, they end up at 3, but the Violent Outburst is 2 more damage, right? So they know for a fact that I don't have a Fire Ice, a Bone Crusher Giant, a Brazen Bar, because if I had that, I would just kill the Lurrus post-combat or pre-combat and attack. So they know for a fact that I don't have one of those 2 damage spells, so the only other card that I could have mid-combat is the Violent Outburst, right? So it makes sense for them to chump block with the Ornithopter.